Hello and welcome to Saffron Honey Chai. Today, I have some thoughts, and they're thoughts about AI, but not the thoughts that many people have. A lot of the time, people are like, oh my God, I hate AI. It's just theft, it's stealing, it's this, it's that. And in some cases, it is. In some cases, it is. Like, if it's like, yeah, I drew this amazing thing with AI. No, the robot drew it. But you were a contributor to the creativity. I just want to really focus in on the academic angle because I've heard just a few too many educators just tell the class to write with ChatGPT. I'm sorry, what are you here for then? If you're the teacher and you're in the classroom and it's your job to teach, why are you telling them to write an essay with ChatGPT? That That's what you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to tell them, okay, here's how to write an essay. Here's how to format it. Here's how to find your sources, this, that. Now, of course, no one's going to know forever and ever how to do your citations. Eventually you forget that because you stop writing papers at a certain point. But why are you telling your sixth grade class, oh, just use ChatGPT to write a nice essay for me? What the hell is going on here? I understand. We're all overworked. We're all very tired. But there's no world where you should feel comfortable and confident to just straight up say, yeah, just put the prompt in and, just make sure it's different than everyone else's. No, no, because I think there is a way to use AI for education. I think it's a great editor for your paper. I use it every day. I'm not going to sit here and say, no one should ever use it. But I mean, at least take a shot at it on your own. At least teach them to take a shot at it on their own. Everyone's first few essays are garbage. Every time I look back at some of my first few essays that got great grades, they're trash. It's just a kid thinking their first little thoughts, putting them together. They need that because now I'm seeing people in their 20s who can barely string a sentence together. Now, AI wasn't the problem there. There's a lot of issues with the education system. But they're just always going, I just asked ChatGPT. Ask the librarian to give you a book. Ask the librarian to send you an article. Anything. Honestly, ask ChatGPT to find you an article and then read the article because I'm feeling like people's brains are going to atrophy. It's like a search engine, When I hope I'm not dating myself with this. When I had my computer class as a child, they would say you have to be careful how you format your search results, like your search query, so that your result comes out good. Because if you give it garbage, garbage comes out. Garbage in, garbage out. If you don't know what to ask ChatGPT besides write this 5-paragraph essay, eventually both of you are going to get worse at this. Now, of course, the ChatGPT essay is going to be amazing. But if you just put in the rubric and then put in whatever thoughts you have, and then it comes out with an essay and you don't read it, you just submit it, you won't know how to make a better essay. I want to argue that you first write it yourself, let it be garbage, let it be garbage. Be comfortable being bad at things. Stop wanting to be perfect. Be comfortable being bad at it, and then let the robot fix it. That's what the robot's there for. The robot's to improve, to innovate, to increase efficiency. You want to get better and faster at it. So sit down, handwrite your cute little baby notes. I did this, I did that, I wrote this, I wrote that. And then let it fix it. But I don't ever want to hear another teacher say it because people were saying it to me in my class. Oh yeah, use ChatGPT for this. And I think it's okay to a certain extent if you cite it, but you can't let your brain atrophy like that because eventually, like, I'm just thinking, how will people be able to think, If the first instinct is always, yeah, just put it in ChatGPT, just put it in DeepSeek, put it wherever. Or Ask Google Gemini or Facebook Meta. I'm tired of every social media app having it there, but that's neither here nor there. But we just need the front lines to be okay. Just do the bare minimum, especially since I'm noticing a severe decrease in academic rigor and intellectual curiosity. People used to stay up all night writing their papers. And I think it built character. I think it built character. Not that back in my day we climbed up 20 flights of stairs in the snow and we were grateful. No. I just think it made you quirky because you would see everyone's dead, lifeless eyes after they stayed up till 3 a.m. putting together this essay and submitting it for this 9 a.m. class. You would see it. And there'd be camaraderie in that. It'd be like, yeah, we survived. And if you somehow got a good grade on that slop, oh my gosh, what a flex. Yeah, I was half dead. The professor circled a gibberish word I wrote, which actually happened to me. I once submitted an essay 3 hours after the due date at 3 a.m. The class was at 9. And there were 8 separate instances where the professor just circled a word. It wasn't a word. And wrote question mark? And I somehow got an A- on that. I don't know how. Couldn't tell you how that happened. I don't even know how I started writing the gibberish words. There was just parts where I was writing and I fell asleep. I ran it through spell checker. I ran it through like baby Grammarly when Grammarly was new. And they said everything was fine. You would think they'd pick up on a word that even Welsh would blush at, but here we are. But I think it made me like a better thinker like that. I think it made me pretty good at that thinking stuff, but I like to think. I really enjoy it. Some people are overthinkers. I'm an overachieving thinker. I will think about anything. I just sit there and think. So when I sit down with AI is like, okay, you gotta leave me alone a little bit. I'm tired of you. I hit that free threshold really fast. Where it's like, all right, you've asked too many questions. You gotta go to Google and figure something else out. So I don't want everyone to be like me. That's not where this is going. I just want everyone to be more themselves. Because there's some things you only discover when you hit like a difficult point. And I think that if all goes well, school should be the most difficult thing that you're engaging with, you know? You should just be having a hard time with school if everything else is going well. And I hope everything else is going well. If everything else is hard and you're just doing this to get through, by all means, GP it out. But I think the specific academic stress when it's not like toxic, I think it's so good for you. I think it's so good for you because it's almost fun, like in a sense. It's like kind of fun to like suffer academically because you're not really going to get a huge consequence like, oh, you're going to fail the paper. Okay. Are you going to die? No. Is someone going to beat your ass? No. Is your pay going to get docked? No. Now, if you fail too much and you're like on financial aid, then yeah, that could happen. But like, as long as you hit that C line and you cruise through on a C, for the most part, you're going to be fine. Unless you have a scholarship that says you have to have a 3.5 GPA, in which case, thoughts and prayers. You might need a little extra assistance. But I don't know. Some of my most fun times were like group study / paper writing sessions where we're just sitting there coming up with bullshit and nonsense. Because bullshitting on the fly is an amazing skill that will get you very far. And I think that's what the academic process is trying to teach you. Like, it's trying to teach you how to bullshit. It's so useful to be able to talk your way out of stuff and write a understandable argument. So when you take the time to write it, that's just teaching your brain, oh, I see. This is how we put this together. So I do think you're losing out on something when you just put it to the computer because there will be times where you don't have the computer. There'll be times when the internet goes down or where there's, God forbid, a blackout. I mean, the summers are getting hotter and hotter. A blackout soon cometh. I don't know what to tell you. And it's going to be so much better for you to know how to charm your way out of something than for you to just be like, well, give me a few minutes. I'm going to ask the robot. And it is fast. It does work, but it's not going to help you talk yourself out of a ticket or, smooze your way into the club or do any number of things that you have to do with persuasion and like a little wit. So I want us as people to, especially if you're in school. Well, mainly if you're in school. If you're like, you're just listening to this, that's good. You can do this if you want to. But let's try to like seek out ChatGPT a little less or bring it something. So if it's like, oh, I need to write a cover letter, at least have like 5 bullet points that you wanted to say. Don't just come to it and say, yeah, I need you to write me a cover letter, because it's just going to rip from your resume. It's going to be like, here's everything you wrote on your resume, but with exclamation points and an end dash. Okay. The end dash is going to get you clocked instantly. No one uses that correctly. So they're going to know, oh, okay, this bitch used ChatGPT to write this. All right, we get it. And it's going to be so like cold and impersonal and like, is anyone reading it? Maybe. But if someone does read it, they're like, all right, we get it. You didn't care enough to write this, and we don't care enough to read this. So just at least bring it something to work on. Garbage in, garbage out. Just bring it something to work with. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not talking to another robot. So you can get something functional. And then sort of like see how impressive you are. The robot's not impressive. You're impressive. The robot will do what it will do. But your mind and the way you think through things is interesting and unique in its own right. And I think that you, dear listener, watcher, observer, what have you, deserve to explore that. Explore the intricacies of your own mind and like really feel how cool you are. Even if you're like kind of boring, you wear sweaters all year, you eat plain toast, no butter, nothing. There's something interesting about you. And when you just think a little extra, you get to see how interesting you are. We're always invested in like, oh, I want to make a friend. I want someone to think I'm cool. I want to feel as though other people find me impressive. But the number of person who find you impressive is you. It's like, oh, I don't want to feel like a narcissist. I don't know. Sometimes they got the right thing going on. Just they think they're cool. They think they're cool. At the end of the day, they think they're cool. So if you can think you're cool, like at least 10% of how cool a narcissist thinks they are, I we could really work this out. So acknowledge that you're cool. Think your thoughts on your own. If you do need to use an outside source, like a robot, make sure you have something to give the robot so the robot can really expand and talk their shit, or rather talk your shit, because you are what's going to make it interesting. It just has the ability to combobulate. You have to bring the rest. And, take it easy, because no matter how bad the paper is, no matter how bad the essay came out, no matter how bad your cover letter sucks, at the very least, it's yours. And, you get to own it. And everything sucks for a very short amount of time compared to how good it will be when you actually get good at it. Like, when you first start doing something like painting or drawing, you're going to suck for like 6 months to a year. But if you keep drawing every day for years, that first year, and I'm exaggerating because the first year, you're probably going to be good enough in like 3 to 6 months. That first year is going to be like a blip in your mind. You're like, oh, damn, I forgot about that. You're going to look back and feel good about how you improved. So give yourself that improvement space, that improvement ability, and like a growth mindset. At the very least, you're better than a computer in a lot of things. Maybe you just want the spare time. So Let's start there. Let's see how we feel about it. And I'm going to end with a little unrelated hot take because this keeps coming up too much. Too much. Well, two hot takes. One, if we all have to share public bathrooms, I need there to be more flushing happening. There's not enough flushing. And two, specifically if you're a woman in the woman's bathroom, this is going to sound super controversial. Fight with your mother, don't fight with me. If you're going to squat, just pick up the toilet seat instead of pissing all over the toilet seat. Lift the toilet seat and leave it sitting up. If you're not going to sit on it, just lift it. No one's sitting on it. But no one wants to come in and see piss all over the toilet seat. Lift up the toilet seat. And then flush. Like the flushing part is the most important part of this. Flush. Or if you do piss on the seat, then wipe it. It's your piss. No one's going to wipe your piss. But, lift the seat and flush. Thank you very much. Today's drink was water. Okay, that's it.